All right,
Ooh,
this week's top five. We are going to do top
here we go.
five worst NFL quarterback situations currently as we keep on with the quarterbacks.
I like it.
You guys ready?
This was a fun one to research.
Yeah, I thought it was, I had like really just, I don't know, 10 or 11 teams that I ended up cutting it down to. And it was pretty, I went to five pretty quick. Um, okay. So, Steve, would you like to start?
I will start it. My first team would be the Vikings.
Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted them higher on the list, but then as I started going through it, mainly because, Kyler Murray's on that team, but and I don't
JJ McCarthy and Carson Wentz, though. That's why I like question it. Like, what don't you like about Minnesota?
I think there's just too much. I don't
Okay.
because here's my problem. Because Kyler Murray is one of those guys that he's gonna do really well in training camp, and they're probably gonna end up starting him for the
Okay.
season. And
And
then he is going to completely blow it by the second game. And then they'll end up throwing in JJ McCarthy, and then something will probably happen to him, and then Carson Wentz will get thrown in. And I think they're just going to have a horrible season when it comes to QBs.
You are
okay.
just a negative Nancy with
Okay.
injuries.
Yes, I am actually.
All right. So, Nick, what is your number five?
Number five, coming in hot, Carolina Panthers. They don't have any true number or wide receiver ones. They got for weapons, so and he's got to produce, or like you said, he's likely going to be booted or moved on from. So I just put them there.
Okay. All
Get up or
right.
go home type thing.
Brandon Stuff, trainer, what do you got?
My number five is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers being 42 years old. There's just too many other younger quarterbacks, got more energy in them. I don't see him being able to get them to the trophy at the end of the season.
Okay. All right. My number five is the New York Jets with Geno Smith, Cade Klubnik, Brady Cook, and Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi has got some exciting play in him every once in a while, but it, it's an interesting situation. I just think I
Geno's
don't know.
not bad.
What's that?
Geno Smith isn't bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were on my list. They were number seven, but I mean, Geno Smith is one of those kind of guys that you never know if he's going to have a good season, and he could have a good season.
Yeah, he could. Steve, what's your number four?
uh, New Orleans Saints.
The New Orleans Saints. Okay.
Just don't know much about it's I think what so it's going to be a second year.
You talking about Tyler Sugg?
Yeah,
Yeah, hasn't shown anything yet. So, and then you got Spencer Rattler, and
Zach
honestly,
Wilson.
yeah, there's a quarterback I was very just wrong about, but I don't know if he ever really got a shot, right? It was the New York Jet, and then
That's one of those kind of get quarterbacks
yeah,
where if you put him in and maybe start him on another team, you got drafted by another team, his whole career could have been completely different.
yeah, I thought he was. I definitely thought said he was going to be better than he was though. So it was yeah, got Zach Wilson wrong. It was watched a good pro day and watched he was really good, but at BYU, and I think that kind of maybe sold it to me a little bit too much. And I like the kid's got incredible footwork and he's got some great essentials. But I was just I think I feel like I missed the mark on Zach Wilson.
He's one of
But
those guys that I think that his confidence just got obliterated.
yeah, and it hurt him. And that's one of the things you don't get to see when you just do it as a hobby. And it's like you don't get to see those interviews. And that's the other side of it where you kind of miss. So yeah, I was way off with Zach Wilson there. So Nick, what's your number four?
Number four, already been said. We're going to go with the Steelers. Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers being 42, you got a shaky offensive line in a pretty brutal AFC North division. He's not as mobile as he used to be. I know that they have Mason Rudolph. I think Will Howard is their QB3, and then they got some
Yep, out of Ohio State, correct.
Then they got a rookie, Drew Altar or Allar. Um, I know he would be great in the room, in a quarterback room, because of his seniority and all his knowledge, but I just don't think this is going to be a good year for Rodgers in general, and I don't think anybody else is going to play unless he goes out.
Okay. The Steelers were pretty excited about their first round draft pick. They got a stud offensive tackle in Max Ironanker. Um,
Great name.
they also got a absolute steal in the second round in Journey Butler or Bernard at wide receiver. So um, they honestly their first and second picks were pretty big offensive prospects. So we'll see what that brings
But that can change.
for
Right on.
yeah. And I know they signed. God, I was trying to look up who they signed, but they signed a second offensive lineman as well from some. They've got a big free agent, so we'll see what that does for their offensive line. But yeah, Brandon, what is your fourth? Number four.
Now, I also had the Saints at number 4,
Okay,
same reasons. Mhm.
same reasons. Okay, fair enough. My number four was the Atlanta Falcons. I said from the beginning Michael Penix Jr. was a bust. They got Tua Tagovailoa, who was always a bust. He got very lucky in Miami when all you have to do is throw up a Hail Mary and you have two receivers that are going to go get it. So that was their entire offense for a season and a half, and it started to simply just defenses adapted. All they did was put a free safety spy back at 30 yards at times, and they just sat back and intercepted Tua. So
Yeah, I didn't even realize Tua was on there until I started going through
yeah,
this list, and I didn't
um,
realize they picked him up over the
yeah,
season.
Tua, Tua. Everybody was like, well, he threw for 5,000 yards, and that was one of those situations where it was like, when you have Jalen
Yeah,
Waddle and
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, and then they had a number three guy, it's slipping my mind, who is also a Pro Bowl level receiver.
if you get it within 2 yards of those receivers, they're going to
That's
catch
all you
you.
had to do. All they had to do that season was just outrun guys.
It's like playing 500 back in, your backyard.
So it's like, yeah, it was two. It was never, yeah. Um, and that's why it didn't last long in Miami. So, and then they've got Trevor Simeon and Jack Strand. One of these guys isn't even going to make the roster. So, yeah, it's number four. Um, Steve, number three.
I had to put the Arizona Cardinals at number 3.
Okay,
And we already talked about the reasons why. I mean,
sure.
Brissett he's not a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's the future, and I don't think he's good enough
Well,
to
no,
even make the playoffs for them.
He's a
And then they have
stopgap.
Gardner Minshew, and then of course their new rookie Carson Beck. So hopefully Carson sits this season. He's not ruined. He can kind of get used to the NFL.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah. Like Gardner Minshew has won a lot in this league, and
yeah,
so is
I
Jacoby
Minshew
Brissett.
magic, baby.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see. Nick, number three.
Number 3, I went with the Colts.
Okay.
Just with Daniel Jones coming back from that Achilles injury, you got Anthony
Yeah.
Richardson, excuse me,
Mhm.
whose development's been kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
No true number one, wide receiver number one, safety blanket, and average line that's not going to be enough to protect two injury risked quarterbacks. So I don't know. I just put them,
Okay.
see what the line can do to protect those guys.
Yep. Anthony Richardson coming out of college was definitely a question mark. It was like, what's he gonna do? Was one of those, you know, no real opinion.
Hmm.
So right on. Brandon, number three.
Me and Steve seem to be on the same wavelength because I also have the Cardinals at number 3,
All right.
just a group of, NFL journeymen, no franchise quarterback.
No, not yet. No. All right. Number three for me was the Saints. Tyler, show it's a question mark. No real opinion on him. Don't it just he's just a question mark. and then Spencer Rattler and Zach Wilson. So, Steve, what's your number two?
Cleveland Browns. Because I don't have any faith in Deshaun Watson. And of course, they have Shador as number two.
Right.
So, yeah, Cleveland Browns. Like, again, I don't have any faith in Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's going to return to his old ways.
Nick, what's your number two?
Number two went with the Falcons for reasons already discussed. Tua and Penix are not it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
Brandon, what's your number two?
My number two is the Jets, Jets.
Okay.
Last year, Geno Smith was the sixth quarterback to lead the league in both sacks and interceptions.
Wow. Okay. Good stat. Nice stat.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. My number two is Miami. Malik Willis, Quinn Ewers, Cam Miller. You have not one good quarterback on that roster right now. So
Not one. Yeah, that's actually proven that they can actually be a good starter.
not one of them. It's brutal. So
They're my number. They're my number one. So
yeah, anyway, Brett, Steve, that's your number one.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's going to be a long year in Miami, but it was going to be a long year no matter who is at quarterback. So,
I mean, they made a good move getting rid of Tua. I don't know about that's
Yeah.
kind of a big contract for Malik Willis.
NFL record $99 million dead cap hit on Tua.
Oh, really on
What?
Tua. And then they gave
Yep.
him another big contract to, I mean, not huge, but another big contract to Malik. I mean, I don't know who's doing their contracts there. Because he signed for 3 years, $67 million.
Yep, 45 million guaranteed. That's where the dead cap hit came in with Tua, is they had to pay him all the guaranteed money remaining to let him
Mm.
walk. So, yep.
Oh, it's already realized. Well, okay.
So yeah. Nick, what's your number one?
Number one, going with the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was back
Basically
and
because
forth.
they are just the absolute worst quarterback room in the league, in my mind.
It's my number one. I understand not putting it number one for the reason of the unknown about what Deshaun Watson's going to do this year. Here's the crazy thing, is if Deshaun Watson returns to form, that's a playoff team.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I just don't.
Not only is that a playoff team, but they'll challenge for the division. They still have the number 3 defense in the league. I understand who they lost, but they also got a lot of good guys back and in the draft. So Cleveland had the best draft in recent memory. Number 1, offensive line, top end wide receiver. And they've got a number 1 receiver and one of the best offensive linemen in the draft. Right out the gate, you're already have a number 1 receiver and an improved offensive line. And on top of that, they also replaced their lost defensive lineman.
And if you can get Deshaun Watson to
Get
at least
back
return
to-
partial to form,
if he
then
is,
yeah, that's a
but
good
I-
offense. That's a good offense.
And it is, and it's a playoff offense, and you're going to be in every single game like you were last year, no matter fucking what, because of that defense. That is still one of the best secondaries in the league.
The problem is you just don't know which Deshaun you're going to get this year.
Bingo. So and as an overall quarterback room, it's still the worst in the league.
Watson hasn't had a 300-yard passing game in 4 years.
No, because he's got suspended for a year, then he got hurt, and then he has had a rough couple of years. And whether he returns to form or not, it's still one of the worst contracts. I don't care if he wins the Super Bowl and gets MVP. It's still one of the worst contracts ever in NFL history. When you look at What
how
it
much
took to
he's
get
made
there.
and how much he's played.
Yeah. Brandon?
Now you also had the Browns at number one, but the only
Yeah.
thing I'll add on to that is just I just feel bad for the fans with all the history there in that city.
Hey, got to tell you, they're loyal fans though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like Chicago fans.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah. You could throw just a bunch of walking piles of poop out there. I'll cheer them on.
And they'll still be out there cheering for
Yeah.
him.
But yeah, we'll see. It could be a, thing, but yeah, if Deshaun returns to form, it's a completely different conversation with that organization. But there's still fans, very emotional fans about Shador Sanders for some reason.
Yeah,
It's
why? Is
like
it
I
just
have
because he's
no idea.
Sanders' son?
I no, I don't know. Maybe. And I love Dion. I
Oh, absolutely.
love
Dude,
prime
I'll be
time.
honest. I watched every Colorado game when he was there because you just never
I
knew.
it was here's the thing. I watched a lot of Shador Sanders, and if it wasn't for having a generational talent on his, as his wide receiver one, it wouldn't have been what it was. Number one, they wouldn't have won that many games. That kid is it's ridiculous. And he was what 1-8 against top 25 teams, or no, he was 0 and he didn't beat a top 25 team. He was terrible never won a bowl. He never did anything.
No, I don't know how he got drafted. I mean, well, I do know how because his dad was played in the league and he was
Somebody
a really
just was
good
like, "Oh,
player.
we'll take a flyer on him. He'll boost season tickets or
It's like
something."
LeBron's son. Of course, he got drafted
Yeah,
just because he's
it's yeah the whole yeah. I don't understand. Dylan Gabriel isn't any better, and then you got some guy on the roster, Taylor Green, who's won't make the roster. So anyway.